when I first came to Penn State, I didn't know that much about dialects and accents, but I knew that there was a stereotype that people from New York, and specifically probably the East Coast in general, do tend to have an accent. But I thought that it was more generalized and that it referred more to the city, maybe, and places that are bigger, like Boston and New York City. Like, those are the places that have accents and dialects. But when I came to Penn State, I realized that that wasn't actually the case, because the first thing my roommates from Pennsylvania pointed out was the fact that I had a very strong Long Island accent. And honestly, before I came to college, I never really thought about my accent, and I always thought that it just applied more to the city than Long Island. So it was pointed out I had a pretty strong Long Island accent, and from freshman year to sophomore year, I really felt my accent start to diminish a little, because I spent the majority of my time with people from Pennsylvania, away from home, and I wasn't hearing it as often, and I wanted, I guess subconsciously, I wanted to change my own accent to fit better in with the people here. Um, but after we had the discussion in class about language variation and slang, and especially covert prestige, I realized that when I go home and I'm with my friends from home and I'm with my family from home, my Long Island accent comes out very, very strong. And I never meant for that to happen specifically, but I notice now, after talking about it in class, that I do have covert prestige, because I try very hard when I go home to fit back in with my group of friends, and to prove that, yeah, I go to school in Pennsylvania, but that doesn't mean that change is where I'm from, and I'm so proud to be from Long Island. So even, it's not just my accent, actually, it'll actually be my dialect, because then I'm using words that my community specifically uses, and not just you know not just the way I pronounce things, but it becomes everything that I say is from my hometown, and pronounced the way someone from my hometown would say it. So yeah, so I realized that when I go home, I try really hard to belong to my community, and I think all of us do, because a majority of us went away, and we definitely don't want to lose that aspect of being from Long Island, because I think we're all very proud of it, and love where we came from. But even at school, sometimes if people ask me where I'm from, I'll say Long Island, and I'll specifically make my open O's very, very known, because I want them to hear, like, oh yeah, she's definitely from Long Island, because of the way she pronounces long. So that's something that I think is definitely so interesting. But now, for the rest of my life, every time my accent comes out, I will definitely think of covert prestige